So I'm going to start videoing my journal because I don't write my journal like I used to back in the day, but I've gotten out of the habit, and it's my goal to always do it, and then I can forget, and I'm like, well, why not film it? You know, then my kids can watch it in the future. So here we go. I'm just going to start filming it and uploading it to my YouTube channel because it's free, and I'll put it out there if anybody else wants to watch it. But I'm going to set my goal. My goal about a year out from 40 is I'm going to bench 400 pounds at 40. Now, I'm not starting this goal from nothing. I've been lifting for the last 5 years, and so I've been able to get up to my current max around 315. So I need to up it 85 pounds, which is a lot of weight to up when you're at my age, but I think I can do it if I start pushing myself, because I don't really push myself in the gym. I just lift so I don't get fat. Like I used to be really fat, and so I'm trying to keep that down the best I can. But as I lift, I want my kids, I listen to books, and so I love information, and I'm gonna start sharing some of the information so I can remember it better. And right now I'm listening to a book called Becoming the Self, or Becoming a Person. No, that's what it's called, Becoming a Person. And written a long time ago. It was very influential on psychotherapy. And he said a few things that have really impressed me that I think are amazing information that I don't want to forget. And that is that to become a person, you have to reflect in and accept your whole self. That includes not just your logical thinking, your ideas, your thought process, but also your emotions. Your emotions, how they feel, and really explore how you feel about certain things. And so, as he's gone through this journey, personally, I've started to reflect upon how I repress certain feelings as not being part of me, but then other feelings I say, oh, well, those are good feelings, therefore those are me. And then the bad feelings that I have, I say are not me. There's something else. They're, in religious terms, like it's an evil spirit saying something in you, or some kind of concept like that you're trying to expel it from yourself to make yourself look good. But as I've listened to his book, I've started to say, well, those are my thoughts too. Those are my feelings too. Now, he's very careful to explain, just because you feel something and think something, then it doesn't mean it's a good idea or something you should do, or that's who you are. It's just part of yourself. It's one of the facets. And if you really start searching deeper, you start to see another part of you, which keeps the bad part of you, the part of you that wants to destroy relationships. Well, when I say bad, that's what I mean. I'm talking the part of you that wants to tear down your life, hurt other people, destroy positive relationship. The negative part of yourself. He says there's a positive, and he thinks ultimately the positive self is the powerful self. It's the one that controls. And you'll start to notice, even though you have these tendencies to think or feel bad things, or sometimes do bad things, you're not supposed to repress those, but search for also the self that puts that in check and says, you know what, I have a very negative feeling towards so-and-so. They did this horrible thing to me. They hurt me. I want to hurt them. And then realize that you have another self there that goes, however, that's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to understand that I feel this way. It's okay to feel this way. It's accept that everybody has these feelings, but that I have this other powerful part of myself that doesn't want to harm people, that wants my relationships to be successful. And I think this is becoming really, I went to lunch with another attorney, and he brought up something very powerful to me. And he said, it's hard around 40 because you're told to become all these things, to do all these things, and then around your mid 30s, you achieve most of them. You became a father, your business is doing good, you're successful, or maybe it hasn't turned out that way, but you have achieved your goals to a large part in your life, if you're having a healthy life. And then he goes, then you become lost, because what's the next step? What do you do? Well, what's the next thing that you're supposed to do? And that's where I am in my journey, is I need to figure out, okay, well, I've done these things. I'm a father of 5. I have a successful business. I have great relationships with people. But now I need to make sure I identify what I am and what I'm striving for in my life, to not become complacent with it, because you can get into this sense of like, well, I got everything, I don't need to push myself, I don't need to be better, and I don't want to become that. And I feel a little bit like I'm turning that way, whereas I'm thinking more of like, well, what vacation am I going to go on? And I don't vacation, but like, instead of asking myself, how am I going to better this world? What am I going to do to really push things forward? How do I better myself? So my idea was like, I'm going to bench 400 pounds by 40. That's one, but I want to go a little bit deeper than that. And once again, if you're watching this, you're like, why is this guy rambling about himself? This is just my journal. I'm just trying to figure out myself and develop myself the best I can, and become the best person I can. And I know exactly how I view the best way I can live my life. I very clearly identified that, and that is, I value loving relationships with friends, my spouse, my children. I want to nurture and grow those. But how do I do that? What do I need to strive for in order to have loving relationships? That requires me to be my best self, because people rely on me to be the best at what I'm going to be. I run a business, and so my employees rely upon me to be the best employer I can be, to move the business forward. The better I better myself, the better their lives can be. And that's a hard responsibility to take, but when you take that responsibility, great things happen. You develop very deep, loving relationships, and that means something, because people start to trust you, and that trust grows. And also my spouse, I have to be able to articulate to my spouse my love and commitment to her, and what I view as my responsibility to provide the best I can. And to my children, that's been my biggest struggle, is because little kids don't listen, and they make your life crazy sometimes, and they overwhelm you, but then they also give you the most joy at sometimes. And so it's, how do I control myself into being the best father I can be? These are the things that are going in my head, and I'm hoping, as I continue to do this journal and keep talking about things, that this will help me figure out, to piece together my best life. Right now, my goal, I'm focusing, I'm bettering myself on I'm going to bench 400 pounds by 40. It's a year out. I'll keep you guys updated. Let you guys see my guns. See, I'm proud of myself. Those guns gotten big. I used to be a weakling, and then I need to figure out my business. I have some big things that I have to push, and I don't want to do what I know I need to do, and that's scaring me. I'm becoming complacent and weak. And the next step I need to do to better my business is I need to grind. I got to go back to a grind, and I lived a grind for 12 years, and I don't want to do it. Oh, my wife's calling, so I got to get off this.